welcome to the LTG show. My name is Sean Wilburn,
I'm Tony Hannity's.
And I'm Andrew Lee.
and this is the tech website this is a tech podcast for the LazyTechGuys.com website. Thank you for joining us here for this fine Tuesday evening at about 11 o'clock. We actually do this podcast as a live podcast on the Google Hangouts at that time. So if you happen to be hanging out around like 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, go ahead and go jump on Google, go ahead and like our page and all that kind of stuff, follow our page, and join with us. We have our Q&A open. You can join us in conversation. It's going to be a great blast, and today we're going to have a great blast. But before we do, and before we get too crazy, we're going to give you some contact information so you can reach us. Easy, right off the bat. Email, comment@lazytechguys.com. Give us a call at area code 707-722-5299. Those are two different ways you can do so. There's many other ways you can reach us via social networks, and, we'll tell you all about that later on. But before we get too into that, we need to actually start talking about, technology, and more importantly, guys, how you doing today?
Doing great, I guess.
Well, you don't sound great. Are you sure?
I know, right? I
need more caffeine.
Oh.
That's why I have this green can.
Is that green can a monster or something? What is that?
It's a can of Mutant Gin. Of course, Vic would have to laugh at that. Nah, it's an amp.
Yeah, got it. All right, so, Tony, how are you doing this?
I got a haircut.
No way. So, good job, man. What do you got? Why you get a haircut, man? What's going on?
I needed a haircut.
You want to be so fresh and so clean.
It started going crazy.
Well, look at me, dude. I got the same thing, man. You can't even see my baldness anymore. It's pretty cool.
It's right there.
Well, not as much.
I'm just kidding.
There we go. There it is.
Well, that looks normal. And for you audio listeners, too bad you can't see.
No. But if you want to watch us, we have a Lazy Tech TV station on YouTube that you could check it out and listen to us. But now, beyond that, let's actually, get to talking about what we're going to talk about. First off, we're going to talk about our lower thirds on our Google Hangouts that is not up, because some people, like myself, did not do everything pre-show as he was supposed to do.
So, it's okay. We forgive you, Sean.
This time.
Yeah, but the audience won't forgive me. And anyway, more importantly, this is what we're going to talk about today. So, new possible date for the announcement of the new iPhone. Ooh. Samsung and Apple looks like they might be somewhat getting along. Yeah, I know that's
what?
Yes, I know. We'll talk about it in a little bit. Sprint doesn't want to buy T-Mobile. Fox doesn't want Time Warner. Nobody wants anybody anymore. What happened to the love today? There's going to be a new Lenovo flagship phone with a quad HD screen. Quad HD. We're talking some serious pixels or
forerunners.
Yeah, we're talking some serious stuff there, man. Verizon CEO. It's funny. Verizon CEO is kind of calling out Comcast, which is kind of funny how they're jumping in there. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. We're going to talk about the EA subscription plan that was announced last week. We didn't get a chance to talk about it this past week, but we are definitely going to bring it up about the value and all that. Square, company who does payment systems, buys a food delivery company.
That's not weird.
Not at all.
Right?
and Google apparently has helped catch a sex offender by using a form of scanning in their Gmail. Some people are actually upset about this. And we're actually just going to talk a little bit about the technology, kind of how it all happened, and just a little bit about that. But let's get started about what really matters. This is the news that pretty much set the world on blade. Just everybody was shocked. The possible announcement for a new iPhone. Tony, what do we have?
So essentially, the iPhone launch announcement date hasn't yet been officially announced by Apple. However, just as any good leakers out there have done, they've leaked this info to recode.net and said, yeah, basically on Tuesday, September 9th, which is pretty indicative of how they've done their past dates. It's usually been like a Tuesday or Wednesday when they've announced the iPhone. And it's always, if I'm not mistaken, around like the 9th, the 10th. I think they did it like around the 12th as well too. I think they want to avoid doing it on September 11th, which is probably best. But yeah, I mean, there's no question that there's going to be another iPhone coming out this year. The question is, however, and which is what this discussion is going to be, whether this date is real or not, what are they going to announce? And we've seen different reports saying that they're going to have a 4.7-inch phone as well as a 5.5-inch phone, but then some other guy said, no, the 5.5-inch phone's actually been delayed, and then this other guy said, no, actually, it's still cool, it's still in production. And then Marquez Brownlee on YouTube got a hold of the Sapphire screen that fits the 4.7-inch phone. And mind you, this isn't pure sapphire, because if it was pure sapphire, it would be pretty brittle. But it
Dubai.
Sorry?
And only sold in Dubai.
And only sold in Dubai in the underground markets. So yeah, that's another good point. It would definitely increase the overall price of the phone tenfold. But he was kind of demonstrating how resilient it is to kind of everyday scratching, from keys to knives. And then somebody, I guess many people said, yeah, well, let's see you really scratch it. And let's put it to this. He put it to the test, and they went as far as shooting it with a bow and arrow by Joe Rogan, and it just completely obliterated it. And now you're going to do that with any phone screen, so I don't think Apple is giving you a crap screen in the future, but it's just funny that they went that far with it. But yeah, what do you guys think? I mean, do you think that they're going to do two phones, kind of like how they did last year with the 5S and the 5C, or are they going to kind of hold back and not join the whole, and I'm saying it, Sean, the whole phablet family with these larger screens and whatnot? What?
I hate that word.
Fabulous.
It's fabulous.
Fabulous.
All right. I'm curious. So here's the deal. This is not Steve Jobs' company anymore.
No, it's not. This is a Cook company.
We've already seen a partnership with IBM, which people didn't think would actually happen. And what if they're going to do something that? Okay, so here's the deal. Like, Apple is a business, and I understand that there's ideals that they want, that Jobs had about the size of the phones and all that, and keeping it within reason. But let's be real here. Other companies make larger phones, and they're selling tons of them, and people love them. People love the options. And you know what? If you love a big phone, the iPhone is not an option.
Yep.
You can't get it. You're SOL. So now, if Apple should do it. Now, I'm just curious on, are they going to fix the UI so that it matches better? Like, is it going to be a hybrid tablet size or interface that they're doing between the iPad and that, or something like that? Who knows exactly how they're going to make it, but I'm sure they're going to figure out a way of making it look good. It's going to work the way it's supposed to work because they know how to do it by now.
Yeah, I mean, with the larger screen, and we've already seen it when they went to iPad and then they had the iPad Mini. It really isn't that much different. I mean, we've seen what iOS 8 is going to look like. It looks fine. It looks nice. They've added a few nuances that other ecosystems has had for quite some time. But even with that being said, Apple's UI is very simplistic, which is why iPhones are very user-friendly to a lot of individuals that haven't had smartphones before, and that's why people kind of aim for that, whereas Google is obviously a little bit more malleable, a little bit more customizable, and that's for maybe a little bit of a different demographic. But the fact that, like what you said, is that they're finally giving customers options is great, because before the option was, okay, you can have the phone that Andrew has now, which is the iPhone 5S, or you can essentially save money and get the iPhone 4. I mean, that was really the option, that's it. Or I guess the iPhone 5C, but that, it's just, who wants that? But yeah, that was pretty much it. Now we're actually getting into the realm of, okay, I still want iPhone, but I've got monkey hands. Well, not me, but this other guy. We'll call him Jim. Jim has monkey hands.
Jim Monkey Hands.
Mr. Monkey Hands. And it's, the iPhone is just laughable. It's like, oh my God, this looks like a toy in my hand. But a 5.5-inch screen, this is the Galaxy Note 3. And for the life of me, I forget. I think it's a 5.3-inch screen. Yeah, this would fit Jim, Mr. Monkey Hands, very, very well. So yeah, it's definitely a good move. The question also is, the internals. Are they going to have the laser guided autofocus like the G3 has? Is it going to have like a 25,000 megapixel camera? Probably not. Is going to be able to tell me when my toaster. Well, I guess through the iHome thing. But is there any other like feature set that you guys have heard through the grapevine that has been kind of touted in the rumor mill that hasn't come up in previous iPhones that this one is going to offer, and this is the it-all be-all iPhone that people have been waiting for since last year? Because obviously last year was just like a step-up iteration.
I can't say that I have those type of connections, but I wouldn't take it past that they would increase the screen size because of Mr. Monkey Hands there.
Well, actually, I was going to direct this question to you, Andrew. And here's the deal:
Uh-huh.
I'm with Andrew on this because I don't have those connections either, like you, Tony.
Well, not connections, just like what you've seen on Twitter and the Googles and the Book of Faces.
But I am with you. What features, since you are an iPhone user, what features would you figure would be that you would like to see on this new iPhone? Since you're a user now, what would you like to have, or what things?
The biggest complaint that I keep hearing, primarily, and I mean this is not necessarily me because I mean my hands are medium size and
you're not. You don't have club.
No, I don't have monkey hands or anything like that. But I mean, honestly, it's just
he has the hands of a god. Do this, Andrew. Come on, do this for our viewers.
No.
Come on.
Okay. There you go.
There you go. God hands right there.
Anyways, but I mean,
from Asia.
Honestly, it's just if you have any hands that are bigger than this, I mean, you're definitely gonna have problems using something like this. So I mean, I wouldn't put it past Apple to slightly enlarge the screen a little bit more to compete with like Samsung, because I mean that's what Samsung's known for, is the bigger screens for the most part.
Mm-hmm. And not just them. HTC has a big phone.
Exactly.
Well, yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, HTC, they kind of started the whole bigger phone screen with the Evo, and Andrew, I know you owned that when that first came out. And then Samsung said, "Yeah, we'll check out our resources," and they came out with the Note. And it's like, whoa, this is a lot of people are like, this is stupid. It's got a stylus again, and then for whatever reason, it just kind of took off like wildfire and just kept on. It just keeps on coming. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
You know why? It's the same reason why. It's the same problem I have when you go from iPhone to, like, in my case, an S3 to an S4.
Right.
I had the S phone. It's okay. This is great. Get the bigger one. Oh, this is bigger. That's so big. Wow. Okay. Yeah, you can use it for a while. Great. Let me go to that small one. Ooh, no, I can't use that anymore.
Yeah, I know, right?
Then you get to that. Then you're like, oh, what is this? No, wow, that thing's huge, man. I would never. This is crazy. Man. All right, great. Man, it was so. Man, I'm gonna go back to that Note again. Hang on. And it's just next thing you know, we're gonna have tablets to the side.
We're gonna have phones as big as our body and still complain it's too small.
I cannot wait till we get our boom boxes that's gonna have the headrest built in instead of us just making it, and it's gonna have an iPod dock. So we can just dock our iPods and have the boom box at the same time.
I'll just settle for a heads-up display. Thank you.
There you go.
That's all I care about. Thanks.
Headset display for Andrew. All right,
hey, Sean, we got a comment. Your audio's low.
Okay, so that's the question I said. All right, so for everyone who's listening, my audio will increase here substantially. If I become Dr. Digital Noise, I'm sorry. Here we go. Okay, I'm sure I am quite a bit louder already.
Yeah.
There we go. See?
Okay.
Is for the person who made the comment, if you please let us know if that is better. I would like to know that.
Bruce is a better. We got Bruce on the line. Caller, what's the issue?
Wait, so where did he comment? Is he on the? Oh, he's on the actual.
Yeah, he actually commented on the actual post, not in the Q&A. I think he was trying to be discreet, which is very, very kind of him. But I called him out.
Dude, I don't care. We're very down to earth. We're just guys hanging out in our living rooms.
DTE.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
What?
Okay. Another thing for anyone who's watching, we have a showcase feature that now Google Hangouts has. We're actually trying it out right now.
So it doesn't overlay. It just has it onto the side. So if you want to see the links we're talking about, it has it. You have to open up the Hangout I don't know if it'll show up in the YouTube video after the fact. I'm sure it will. But in the Hangout itself, where you can enter your Q&A section and everything, there's also a showcase section, and then it'll show all the links that we're talking about. So right now, the link that is live is this Apple Recode link, and then if I click another button, there'll be the link directly to, and I'll just directly to our website if you just want to click directly to our website.
Which will be the most commonly used link on that, just so you know.
Sure, that's fine.
Yep. All right. Now, the word is around the block, and this is around the block, B-L-O-K. Anyway, so the word is that Apple and Samsung are actually dropping legal disputes outside the United States. Dude, they're actually having some peace. Tony.
Sup?
What do you think about this, man? Or what do we got going on here?
Yeah, you know, I think it was the last year that, or earlier on this year, Apple made amends with, I think it was Samsung, and I believe another company was it was Apple against Samsung, and I want to say Motorola, and basically Apple said, okay, let's basically not have patent wars. They basically said, let's throw down our patent arms, so to speak, and not go to court anymore, because this is essentially not getting us anywhere. We're both spending a crap ton of money, and although we can both afford it, we're not making any points. Essentially, we're going to be using each other's patents. We know this. And I think that was just a verbatim speech. Like, they said, okay, we'll do that, but I don't think they actually, like, signed it in stone or anything like that. But now we're finally hearing that they're going to be dropping this similar dispute outside the United States in countries like the Netherlands, South Korea, Germany, Australia, Austria. And so this is great because this means that both companies can put their resources into things, I don't know, that matter. I mean, we spend how much money in court when they get, and again, I get it. They have a ton of money that they can do this, and this is why they do this, because they can afford it. But you know, you hear about all these issues down the chain that Samsung is continuing to pay this manufacturing company money that employs children 30% of the time. Because they want to save money. Well, let's stop spending money in our legal department and put that money somewhere and budget it so we can employ another manufacturing firm that doesn't use children. I mean, that's just my opinion. I think child labor is bad, and that's why there is child labor law. So I mean, that's my opinion on it. But if this didn't go through, essentially we'd be looking at about Samsung having to be on the hook around $19 million, and Apple only $158,000. So this is great for Samsung, and Apple, yeah. So we'll see how this really pans out. We'll see if both parties play to this, and if it, if we are in a happy days. But yeah, you're right. I think you said this pre-show. This isn't the Steve Jobs Apple anymore.
Okay, a question. Now, did they come to this agreement together because they said they want to end the litigation, they're coming to an agreement, or did they just suddenly say, we're just ending these cases and that is it?
I mean, from the reports, it just says that the companies were dropping all litigation outside the U.S.
I think what's really happening is this. I think they're going to focus all their litigation on the cases in the United States, because that's where a lot of these patents are. That's where a lot of these companies are fighting, and they're figuring that having one ruling in the United States, make the answers and move on, and just have that cover we'll just end it and we'll just move on with that thing. I think this is just a way to make it easier and cheaper in litigation by not having 20 confusing court cases fighting 20 different things, but let's just fight for the 1 or 2 court cases that matter and have these kind of trickle down to other places. Plus, they probably also have agreed secretly to stop all the banning as much. I don't know about that part, but
Okay, I do want to correct what I said about the money that's being owed, and I said that they don't have to owe it anymore. They do probably still have to owe that because that was something, as you mentioned, Sean, agreed on. Well, maybe not agreed on, but that was determined by Judge Lucy Coe here in California. So.
But
They would still have to pay that, and rightly so. What you're saying is okay. Let's stop spending money outside there, where these patents don't really have any traction. But here in the States, well, hey, check ching ching.
And then a lot of things is this entire industry is becoming very, very international. I mean, it's not becoming; it's already very international. I mean, there's a lot of even though there are a lot of companies in different countries, there's a lot of crossing happening here, and there's litigation that happens in one country does affect another. So. You know what? Maybe this is a way of us trying to unify and simplify the entire mobile thing so that maybe when these disputes do happen, it's just an easier way of dealing with it. And more importantly for Samsung and Apple, one court case, one set of lawyers, send them out to wherever they're doing these court cases, which seem to be somewhere around here in San Francisco, and then see what happens.
On kind of going back on the first topic that we talked about, I'm sorry, because we said September 9th for Apple. Supposedly, Samsung is having a September 3rd event at IFA in Germany for the Note 4.
Whatever you do, I can do first. All right. So, Andrew, anything you're wondering about the Samsung Apple thing, or they're just happy they're getting together, or?
It's not over.
Oh yeah, this is very newsworthy. It's great PR for both companies. But the thing is, like as much as all this litigation, all the courtroom drama and everything, everyday people don't care. They don't give a crap. They don't, it's like, what phone should I get? That one. Okay, it has pretty pictures. They just don't care. They don't really see the ramifications of what's going on and how this can affect. The consumer market, and having these licensing deals not go through can increase cost for the phone, which thus will increase cost for you as a consumer. But it doesn't really increase it because you're being offset by the 2-year contract. But then other companies are trying to get off the 2-year contract by having you pay off the full retail throughout your 3-year. It just bleh.
You know what? I'm actually would say that I don't know if it's that people per se don't necessarily care about this stuff. I think they just trust that the things are going to work themselves out naturally, and they're just going to work the way they're expected to work. And that's the reason why they just don't pay attention to it. But I assure you, if something like this interferes with someone's choices, someone's ability to, like, for example, let's say if something happens in the movie industry and now movies are even harder to get, or you have to use one particular service to get it when you didn't have to do that now, people will start caring because now all of a sudden when they thought the system was just going to be open and they're going to be just easily get what they want to get, now there's roadblocks in the way. They're going to start caring, and it's going to jump in there and say something. I just think that maybe people just assume the thing is just going to work itself out naturally, and they just think that the cogs in the system are working. So why should I be bothered with it? Because it's like, why should I be bothered with whether my axle is spinning correctly at the right RPM when I'm running my car and I'm able to get in my car and move on just fine? I'm sure there's a bit of that happening in there too, just so you know. But you limit people's choices, they'll care.
All right, yeah.
All right. I'm just, making a point. Yeah.
Oh God. Thanks, Barry.
Come on, man. Can I get one little like dynamite point in here? Anyway, all right. So I am going to let you do the next topic here, Tony, simply because I'm not going to butcher this name. So, Tony, why don't you go ahead and introduce us to the new CEO of Sprint?
All right. So check this out. I am sharing the picture.
Dang it, dude.
What?
I know what you're doing.
What am I doing?
Trying not to say that name.
No. Okay. So I'm sharing the picture here. This is the new CEO of Sprint as of now. And Sean, drum roll please. His name is...
Hang on.
Oh, God. Name is...
Well, see, that sucks when a drum roll sample does not play on time.
Marcelo Clar. We'll go with Clar. I don't know.
That easy? Oh, come on, man. That just makes too much sense.
Clary?
No,
I think it's just Clar.
Clar makes the most sense here.
I don't know. If you're from Bolivia and you can tell me how to properly pronounce this gentleman's name, please let me know in the comment section. But yeah, Marcelo Clar is the new CEO of Sprint. Clar is actually he's actually come from Bright House. He was head of the wireless distribution of Bright House, which is a international, I guess, reseller of wireless. And he was a board member of Sprint. And now Sprint has moved Dan Hess or Dan Hesse. People pronounce his name both ways, and said, you know what, Mr. CEO from next door, because that was one of his nicknames, get next door and stay over there. We want this new guy. And this is also in the wake of the whole Sprint buying T-Mobile, because Sprint wanted to buy T-Mobile, as we've talked about in the past. And I pretty much said, you know, the number 3 carrier buying the number 4 carrier is probably not going to be a good thing, because here in the United States, we're all about trying demonopolizing everything. And this is basically monopolizing everything. We've already, you know, the fact that the AT&T and T-Mobile merger didn't go through. This would be a crazy precedent if they would allow this to go through, and I'm sure AT&T would be up in arms. So anyways, we can forget about that. On a side note, French company, I think Iliad, was trying to buy T-Mobile as well too, and there's a whole background with Iliad. A lot of people in France know Iliad. They're fairly, not popular, but fairly well known in France. And yeah, John Legere, or John Leger, again, another CEO with 2 pronunciations of his name, basically said, we don't need to be bought by someone to be successful. So that deal has gone through as well too. In any event, yeah, this is the new face of Sprint. I don't know if we'll ever see him in a Sprint ad, as we've seen Dan Hesse before. But yeah, I think the fact that the whole Sprint buying T-Mobile, that whole talk has now gone by the wayside. We don't have to talk about it anymore. I'm glad it's finally done, because it's, again, to me, it was kind of a no-brainer that it wouldn't have gone through in the first place, but for whatever reason, a lot of people were resting on their laurels, hoping that it would go through, and maybe some stockholders really had it in for, you know, Sprint buying T-Mobile, but yeah, no more, they said. Now, the fact that we have a new CEO, I don't know his past experience with Brightstar. I don't know if he has been running Brightstar into the ground. I don't know if, you know, obviously not. But just like how we've had, you know, a paradigm shift between Steve Ballmer to Satya Nadella in Microsoft, and for a lot of reasons, people do feel that Nadella being at the helm is a much better move for Microsoft as a whole. Maybe we'll see that for Sprint, because although they are the number 3 company in wireless subscribers, they're probably the number 5 company in the overall consumer public opinion. You know, many people, and this is purely anecdotal what I'm about to say, so I don't have any numbers. I haven't gone to NPD. I'm sorry, I should have. But for the most part, just like how people hate calling Comcast, Sprint customer service hasn't been all that good. Overall coverage, although they did implement some new towers with 4G LTE, and I think they're doing like 4G LTE Spark, which is supposed to be 4G LTE Advanced, in some specific cities, the overall coverage of Sprint, for whatever reason, is actually shoddier than T-Mobile, although T-Mobile is the number 4 carrier. So hopefully this guy has some tricks up his sleeve. Obviously, with his connections with Brightstar, it's going to help out. And I don't know if they're going to be implementing more Brightstar towers and other facets and technology with Sprint. If that's the case, coolio. If not,
Can I give you a quick history? I mean, a quick thing I just found out. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
October 18th, 2013. Brightstar Corporation and SoftBank Corporation announced a definitive, and we know SoftBank owns Sprint, or their own Sprint, right? Or they are Sprint, or essentially, or they're partners with Sprint or something like that.
Yeah, they own a majority of Sprint.
Okay, so SoftBank and Brightstar and SoftBank announced a definitive agreement for SoftBank to invest $1.26 billion into Brightstar. The transaction is expected to close January 2014. We're assuming it did at this point. I have to look into that. SoftBank will own 57% of the company. Mr. Clore, was it, how you say the name again?
Just like Clore.
Clore, yeah, thank
Clore.
you. Clore will own.
Todd McClure.
That thing you just throwing me off right now. Anyway, and he will own 43% of the shares on an outstanding basis. He said eventually SoftBank will own up to 70% of the company. And the founder and chairman and CEO of Brightstar is Clore. So essentially what has happened is Sprint worked out a deal with Clore and his company, Brightstar, who was doing pretty good. Brightstar had facilities in like UK, Spain, Hungary, Portugal, and quite a few different other places all throughout European companies. They pretty much are saying, all right, we're going to team up and work together with you in Europe. We're going to take one person built this company, you're going to now run our operations across the board internationally. You're going to run Sprint for us. So as far as them getting the right guy, if this guy built this company and got him to this point, I think they probably do have the right guy.
All right.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a good move for Sprint. And that's definitely how they found him. Obviously, he was already there because he's been negotiating with him for years, and apparently this was probably part of the deal. Or maybe that's the reason why they were negotiating with him, because they were thinking, yeah, you know what? I like this guy. I think he can run our company right. You know? Yeah. And now look at him. He has a job. All right. Well, anyway. Good luck, Sprint. We'll see how you guys do.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Let's take a break, guys. We're going to go ahead and thank our sponsor. And what our sponsor is Audible.com. We like Audible.com. It's a great audiobook service. They have, just a few books there, about, 500, over 500,000 actually. It's a few more than that. And the biggest thing about audiobooks is it allows us to be more productive in our lives and really allows us time to do things. Like, these are professionally read books, best authors. You got all kind of different types of books. We're talking fiction and nonfiction, history. We're talking all kind of children's books, and then it just goes on and on about the type. We have like science fiction if you're into science fiction and whatnot. You can listen to these books anytime, any place, because they work on all different devices, including Android phone, iOS phones, tablets, what do you call those, Kindles, and it goes on and on. And simply put, it's just a really good way of enjoying books in the modern high technology society that we live in today. As we know, technology, as it progresses, one thing that always gets back is some other form of technology gets left behind. Like a good example, cassette tapes. Remember those things? Remember those things. Well, you know what? Why should we let books go away? So, audio. So we already have music and all that has made it to new styles, and now we can allow our books to do the same. And with Audible.com, it allows us to do so. You can enjoy these books, but you can enjoy it in today's technology. Now, if you use the URL that we have, you actually get 30 days to check it out, and you get a free book. So this is a easy, no-risk way of checking it out and enjoying the over 500,000 books they have for options, enjoying the many, many hours in professionally read stories, and most importantly, have a great time just enjoying these stories. So the URL is audibletrial.com/lazy. Once again, it's audibletrial.com/lazy. Use it, sign up with that one, enjoy the free book. You will get discounts on other books if you do like it and you want to go ahead and subscribe. And as you stay a member, you actually get to keep getting free books over time. So you get freebies as well as saving money, and most important of all, you get a chance to enjoy these audiobooks. So audibletrial.com/lazy. Why don't you go ahead and sign up, use that URL right there, and, well, enjoy books and all that good stuff. The literary arts. There we go. How's that? Anyway, thank you again, Audible, for being a sponsor. All right, now the T-Mobile. So Sprint's kind of done with T-Mobile, right? You said there, Tony.
Yeah. At this point, it's Ixnay on the merger A or Urger May.
Yeah.
Urger May. Yes.
Hey.
B.
Right. So the apparently that's not the only merger not going to happen. Now this merger actually was not following, but it definitely is of interest. Apparently Fox was actually trying to buy Time Warner, but they withdrew their bid. $80 billion bid. Hey, Fox, you can own me for 1/8 of that amount.
I don't know about that, man.
I'm
That's
just kidding.
Fox.
Yeah, that's $8 billion.
Unless they bring back Firefly, and then we'll talk.
Hey, did you see that meme that's going around where they're saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, the Guardians of the Galaxy is
Yeah.
the new hit"? Yeah, it was like
We need a band of rebels with the ship. Yeah, we had that. It was called Firefly.
That comic's so great. Anyway, so all right, so I guess Time Warner. Now Time Warner is also going through this thing with Comcast right now, right? Or is that someone else?
Yeah, no. They're still in the whole merger talk. They said that they're going to acquire Time Warner, and kind of up to the government to say yes or no. And we haven't really talked about this for a while, so. But yeah, they're still working on it, just like the whole Lenovo Motorola thing. That's not finalized, but we're all kind of under the assumption that's going to happen. But the Time Warner Comcast thing, it's still like on rocky like.
So what's up with Time Warner? Are they giving up? Like Time Warner kind of get rid of their cable business to Comcast, and they're trying to get rid of their TV business to Fox?
Well, obviously the Fox thing didn't pan out. So.
Exactly, and who knows if the other one's still going to pan out. But the thing is Time Warner, but Time Warner's had their name in both acquisitions about joining and working with other people. It's like, are they giving up? Are they trying to get out the game? Are they just looking at this business model and feeling that they don't want to be part of it? I mean,
I mean on the Time Warner Fox thing, I think that was just basically, I think that was Fox just trying to one up Comcast.
Okay.
And I think that the fact that they've been in this talk with Comcast this long, and they've already kind of facilitated all the details with it. I mean, up until now, that they feel that Comcast, the fact that they own NBC and all these other the major conglomerates that we deal with every single day in the media market, that they would be a much better fit. It's like when when two companies want you for a job, it's like, okay, they're both offering me the same thing. This guy's offering me much more money, but this guy has better connections and he has a better break room or something. It's like, okay, I might not, I might be getting less money from Comcast, but the fact is their technology and what they have to offer is going to allow this company to go a lot farther than Fox can do. And maybe Time Warner just doesn't want to be affiliated directly with Fox. Could be as simple as that. Like, oh, you guys, no, thank you. We'll have you on our we'll have you on our cable, but we don't want to be owned by you.
Interesting. So
I know this is just my thoughts. I could be completely wrong. But
Andrew,
I'm not.
your take on this, or?
Not really.
Come on, take a take on it, dude.
I'm just concerned how soon. Second.
Yeah, just keep. I'm reading some. Okay.
Reading on the fly.
Here's the thing. I'm just trying to make sure I'm very clear here. They were bidding $80 billion for Time Warner, and are we? So Time Warner, I know, has the cable and all that, but they also have HBO and all the TV stations and the news stuff. And I'm wondering, I was thinking, like, wait, are they running these two different Time Warner separate as two different companies, or are they considered still the same company? Just like there's Verizon Internet and Verizon, the Verizon
Wireless.
that you get in wireless are two different companies, though they both have the name Verizon. I was wondering if the Time Warner that Murdoch was looking to buy and the Time Warner that Comcast is dealing with are the same Time Warner.
Right, you are correct about that. There are two Time Warners.
Yeah, so that's where I'm just questioning, like,
There's Time Warner Cable, and then there's another Time Warner.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if Murdoch was trying to buy the Time Warner TV, Comcast wants to buy the Time Warner Cable, wondering why Time Warner's selling everything they have, which goes back to my question of what the heck are they doing?
I mean, if that's the case, then I have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Okay, I'm going to look into this a little bit more and see what I can find out. If anyone out there has any questions or any opinions on that, please shoot us a letter, shoot us an email, comments at lazytechguys.com, call us up, 707-722-5299, or just join us in the Q&A and let us know.
Yeah, I know. I just want to point out the Q&A is open, so definitely throw out your comments, questions, emotional outbursts in there.
All right, what's up with this new phone, dude? This new Quad HD screen or something
Dude,
like
it's freaking crazy.
Crazy.
Crazy. So
we got-
essentially, Lenovo, who, like I said, is bound to be the new parent company for Motorola, um,
Mm.
isn't stopping and waiting for Motorola to be engulfed by them. They're continuing their development in phones and tablets and things of that nature. And and personally, I do like Lenovo laptops and some of their tablets. I've never actually used any of their phones, as they've never come to the United States. They really kind of go to China and other Asian countries and maybe Europe, and that's pretty much about it, unless you want to spend $600 to $700 full retail. But in any event, the Lenovo Vibe Z2 Pro has been officially announced, and it's going to be sold in Asia. Now, this has a 6-inch Quad HD display. That's 2560 by 1440. That
1440, nice.
is crazy. So, taking into account the LG G3, I think that's about the same resolution. And also, if you haven't seen either phone or what that resolution really looks like, go check out a Surface Pro 3. That also has that's a 2160 by 1440, so a little bit less actually. But this is on a 6-inch screen, and also it's packing a 4,000 milliamp battery. It has some pretty crazy specifications as well too. 16 megapixel RAM with dual LED flash with OIS, which is great because OIS is so needed in these freaking cell phones. It does come with dual SIM capabilities, which again here in the United States isn't needed. But the thing is, it doesn't have a micro SD slot, which is very Google-esque of them, which is interesting because they're buying Motorola. But Motorola did have SD slots, I think. But yeah, Google, Android, for those of you don't know, they don't like SD slots. They just don't. Developers too. Really don't like SD cards. But in any event, it's going to be shipped with Android 4.4. Probably will be updated to Android L, whatever that ends up being. Has a 2.5 gigahertz quad-core Snapdragon 801 chipset, 3 gigs of RAM, and yeah, this will be available in titanium, gold, and black. See, Sean, no crazy names, no like gold member and black onyx or anything like that.
It's got titanium gold, because we were talking about titanium and gold.
No, there's two different colors. There's titanium, there's gold, and black.
Mm-hmm.
Three colors.
Okay. Much
Three
better. Right.
separate colors.
I thought
when you mentioned it, you said titanium gold. That's kind of redundant.
No, I just thought it'd be like, why would they have a gold plate?
Well, titanium's not the color gold.
But exactly. That's why titanium gold.
So it's not redundant then.
There'll be like a metallic.
In any event, we got 3 colors, but we don't have any specifications as to when it's going to be available, and how much this is going to cost. But if you go to Engadget, or if you just go to YouTube's, yeah, there are multiple YouTubes. If you go to the YouTubes and type in Vibe Z2 Pro, there's a nice 1.5 minute video kind of demonstrating the coolness of it. So personally, like you saw earlier, I'm still rocking a Note 3. I'm kind of on the fence, and I know I've been talking about this, Sean. I want to get the LG G3, which again has similar screen resolution. The thing about that, as cool as it is, it's kind of like having a 4K TV right now. It's like, that's awesome. I have 3 things that play 4K. There's no point at right now. I mean, again, please don't email in. I know there's a lot more. I'm just making a point. Not everything is in 4K, and not everything on these phone screens are optimized for Quad HD. I know they will be. Oh God, I know they will be. The other phone that I'm looking at is the OnePlus One, and that's got the stupid invite-only thing. So.
All right. So here's the deal. There will be more programming out there for this quad core and all that, but by the time all that programming really hits, there'll be a newer phone that's going to do a better job.
Right, and that's why I'm like, should I buy the first phone out of the gate with this, or should I wait?
I'm with you on that.
Wait.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, but Andrew, you know me.
Just wait.
Yes, I know you too well.
Wait.
I know, but that's the thing. That's a nice thing, at least with.
Wait.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go buy one.
We're just gonna have to hog tie him or something.
I'm not hog tying his ass. He can bite himself. I don't care.
That's true.
It's my money. I'm a grown man.
Exactly. The only people who can prevent
With that being said, can someone loan me $600?
Hey, the only people, Tony, who could stop us from using our money is our banks. Anyway, so Comcast. Have you ever had that, dude? No. You never had that?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so embarrassing.
It's more.
You're a new customer, so you can't take this money out.
Exactly. Yeah.
What?
Comcast has. Okay, now this is actually just a quick bit of irony. I just wanted to throw this out there. So we know that Comcast is going through this dispute of trying to buy Time Warner. Still, they're trying to make it happen. They used LTE as a way of saying they compete with us. Well, the Verizon CEO jumped out there and says, well, that's a little bit of a stretch. Even the CEO of Verizon, who has one of the fastest LTE networks and all that, has also come out there and said that LTE is usually slower, less consistent, and comes with deeply restrictive data caps compared to what you'll find from Comcast. So, as Comcast makes claim to say that LTE is a true competitor, even the LTE people are saying, dude, come on. No, come on, stop. I enjoy your flattery, but let's chill out with some of this.
Did you hear what they said last week regarding data caps on home broadband?
Oh, no.
They said that the whole
like, oh, God.
No, this is hilarious. They said, that whole congestion thing that we said why you need a data cap on your home broadband, that's not true.
Oh,
there's no congestion. They admitted it. It's just a way for us to charge you.
Yeah,
they just.
You know what's funny?
They said something. They said something we already knew about.
Yeah.
And it was like, we know this is the case, but you guys are trying to justify. It's like, no, there's congestion. It's like, no, there's not. This isn't a cell tower. There's congestion cell towers. You just want more money.
All right.
Yeah, we do.
All right.
Thank you for being honest to some degree.
Tom Merritt, a long time ago on one of the shows back when he was on Twit, actually went over this, and he was very adamant. When they explained how the packets work, and he back then said, their argument makes no sense. And it was a very good one. It's from 6 months to a year ago. If you can find that back on when he was on the with that network, that was it.
Yeah, that's probably a year ago then.
Yeah. All right. Now, EA has announced a new subscription plan. They actually announced it last week, but unfortunately, Andrew went solo to go ahead and talk about it, but he is now here to join and talk about it. So what do you got going on, bro?
All right. So they released a new subscription-based service for the X1. It's a beta right now called EA Access. Now, I like this phrase, but they say that it doesn't require an Xbox Live Gold subscription, but you will need a Gold subscription to play online. So getting that off to the side, it's going to be a monthly and an annual subscription. It's going to be $5 a month. $30 a year.
Not bad.
What it would do is give subscribers unlimited access to a library of EA titles with other benefits. Now, like I said earlier, it is a beta, so right now they're testing it with I think Battlefield 4, FIFA 14, and a couple other games.
Madden and Madden.
Yeah.
The last one is
Dragon Age.
No, it's not Dragon Age. It's
not Dragon Age.
No, it's not Dragon Age. It's
something else.
So there's one more game, but anyways, they're able to play it for however long until it's removed, I believe. But the extra benefits would be for example, you brought up Dragon Age. They would be able to play it 5 days before release.
And get 10% off. And they don't lose their spot in their saved game, which is I think is really important. Because I can't tell you how many times I've played a demo. Here's the full game. Oh, great. Now start over. What? I get it's a demo, fine. But, it would be nice. The fact that you basically start the real game. And if you really want to buy it, you don't have to spend the full MSRP. And I wonder how much you get offset, though. If you pay $30 a year and then you buy, let's say, FIFA 15, which is coming out, and then you get the 10% off, does that really, because you're paying $30 a year, are you really saving money, or is it just the fact that you feel like you're getting in on something earlier than your friends?
Honestly,
you'd have to do the math. Math and me are oil and water, but I think it's a psychological and an emotional purchase at that point. you know.
All right. So actually, Andrew, go. All right, sorry. What else do we have going on with it? Sorry.
Well, I know Chris Planty of Polygon was already kind of ripping into it, kind of like this is not their first time that EA's been trying to do something like this.
Nope.
They did something similar to it about a couple of years ago called, I forgot the name already, but it's their sports package for the PS3 and Xbox 360. Oh, thanks, Sean. It's called the EA Season Pass. It's for all their sports games, like Madden. That was $30. Yeah, season ticket. That was $30 though a month.
Yeah. That
I remember was like god awful amount. So and that didn't last very long. So
what is your take on this whole entire deal? I mean, your personal take, Andrew.
I mean, when you initially read about it, you think it might be a pretty good thing. You know, you get to play unlimited play. It's sort of like, you know, almost like renting a game out from like GameFly in a sense. But I mean, when you look at the pricing versus say buying the game outright, it kind of doesn't really add up too well. But again, it's also in beta, so it's kind of like, well, I can't scorn it, but at the same time, you know, it's not really enticing to jump into either.
All right. Tony, what about you?
Yeah, when I first heard about it, I thought my first initial reaction was like, "Whoa, that's pretty cool." Because personally, I'm a EA NFL player. I play Madden and I play FIFA. So at least in the EA sports games, I was like, okay, or, you know,
UFC.
I think they do. UFC.
UFC.
Sucks.
That was the last game.
Oh, that sucks.
I'm sorry.
A lot of bug problems. Come on, EA, get it right.
Oh no, Battlefield 4. Battlefield 4 was the fourth game. That was the fourth one. That was it.
SSX, I think, was by EA's Big, if that still exists. And so, yeah, for, you know, my initial gut reaction, $30 a year for a game, you know, that's not too bad. If I just want to, you know, if I can wait, kind of like Netflix, you just wait for the game to get old, then you get to play it as much as you want. And it kind of echoes to a certain degree, and I know a lot of people have been kind of comparing, and I know Sony compared it to their PlayStation Plus, and you know, you kind of get similar features with the Xbox Live, the gold deals where you get 2 games or sometimes 3 games a month, but it's still very limited, and I know it's still in beta. But it's I think I have to be closer. It's still very limited. I know it's in beta. See, there's the difference. Even I can hear it. But I do see a lot of problems with that. I don't see a huge adoption rate to it. I was talking to 2 different people that were on both different sides of the fence. One guy was like, "Well, this is great for my kids," and the other person said, "Well, that might be the case. You know, with the few games that it offers right now." But you're really not saving any money if you end up buying all these games anyways, because you're paying the $30 a year anyways. And which is my point before, how much does it really offset the 10% off because you're already spending $5 a month or $30 a year? Granted, so if you do $30 a year, you're probably saving a little bit, but you know, how much? And it kind of gets you again into an ecosystem with EA, and I guess also with Origins. That you may or may not want to be in. So,
all right. Well, here's my take on it. I'm actually with you guys at first. I was also looked at this like, oh, it's a pretty good deal. But here's the things that I find that are very interesting. One, Xbox One only. That's not because of Sony's reaction. It's because the reason why I'm curious about that is because they didn't go Xbox 360. So EA only has 4 games out on the Xbox One.
Yeah.
What kind of vault can you have? No, 6 games out or something like that. How big of a vault can you really have to do this? Secondary, they're not really going to be putting the latest games on the vault. They're only going to be putting the older ones, which means all the games that are going to be coming out in the next couple months that you could say that you're not going to see those games on the vault for a while. So if you pay your $30, what this essentially means is that you're going to get very few games for a long period of time, and eventually you're going to get something new. Now, 1 year from now, this is going to be an entirely different conversation because they're going to finally be able to start filling up the games in that vault, or they hopefully will add the Xbox 360 in the deal, because if they do that, this becomes one of the coolest deals of all time because their library on the 360 is fantastic. They have more than enough games for that, and I think that would be really, really good. I mean, it would have been a better move overall. Yeah, but anyway, but as far as the Xbox One, that was my concern. I'm like, you don't have that many games for that. And if they did the PS4, it would have been the same exact thing. Another thing is this: 10% off new games. Well, the thing is, those same games that become new that you save your 10% will be on the vault later on in the future, and they'll be free. But what's the point if you own the game now? What's the point of it showing up in the vault later? You save 10%, so you will save money. Now, if you decide to just join the system for $5 a month, you pay the vault, you buy your 2 sports games, you will save your 10% of the money. You can cancel at the end of that month, and you actually save money doing that. You actually save a few bucks. So there are a couple tricks where this actually can benefit you. People are doing the math. There's some really good ones. Things I like about this a lot is this. Now, Tony, let's say you have a relative who's in the military, okay? Let's say they're going to come home and they're going to visit for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks stay with their family. And then, of course, they're going to go back out and go back to work, let's say, go back and serve the country. What if that person's a big Madden fan and you don't own Madden, but you own an Xbox One? You pay $5. Now you can download Madden and FIFA and Battlefield 4. You have it for a full month. When they go back out, then you just kill it. You pay that 1 month. You only pay $5. You didn't have to rent the games. That's cheaper than a rental fee.
They pay last year's Madden, though.
Well, it doesn't matter because in that situation, if someone's just coming by and it's a family member hanging out and you just want to have a quick game, nobody will just care which version of Madden.
I don't know. I know some people that are like, I want the new Madden.
Well, if you're
don't give me Madden 25. I don't care about that no more.
Bring your own Madden when you come hang out with me, all right? But either way, I think they do have some benefits. Like I think the 1 month plan for individual months as you may need are kind of cool. But beyond that, overall, as a plan, as of right now, for the year plan, I don't see the value. Next year, I could see the value better. 2 years from now, the value will probably be really good. And on the 360 and the PS3, the value of this would have been incredible. But they're not using it for those platforms. Hopefully, in the future, they do.
I almost want to interject for a hot second, just because you make a good point. Do you think it's just they're trying to coax their current Microsoft base to Xbox One, perhaps, to kind of set it up in a sense?
No, it's more of them trying to try out new business models, trying to make a few extra bucks. They've been successful with their Ultimate Team, so why not try this business model? Plus, another thing they're trying to do is hurt used game sales. They're really trying to hurt used game sales because now you can just vault. You don't have to worry about this. Like the people who would be buying a game used, buy the old Madden. Well, why do that? For $30 a month for the price of one of those used games, because if you bought all 4 used, it will come up to more than $30 a year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you buy that one, you just buy $30 a year. You have all those old games at your fingertips, and now EA is still making money. You're paying for their servers, and they're not making any money off things. That's the real reason why.
No, that's very true.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's another attack at used games, or another way to touch that market. Yet at the same time, this next topic, GameStop is offering 20% more for their used games.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that
That's
happened.
That's good.
I'm happy they're doing it, but my more curious thing is if the company like Microsoft, EA, Sony, everybody's pushing for more digital distribution, wouldn't GameStop would it be advantageous for them to stock up more on all these used physical copies of games when everyone's going more digital, or should they stock up more on them because they know they're going to be harder to come by and they'll be the only people who has them? I'm kind of wondering.
Sounds like it's both. 'Cause I know some people, like, our generation, they like the hard copies, but at the same time, I mean, like you said, the developers are already, the publishers are already pushing for digital distribution, and it's just a lot more convenient. So it almost seems like it's going in both directions there.
Our generation, also known as old people.
For yourself.
Those who shave their faces next.
Yeah.
I know some high school kids. It's like, dude, you ain't in high school.
I knew like a 7th grader one time. I was like, whoa, bro.
Whoa, bro.
Whoa. Just whoa.
A couple years from now, that's too early, bro. That's just too much. Anyway, all right. Dude, Square, the company who's a payments company, buys something that we didn't expect. I still don't quite understand. So, Tony, what's going on here?
Yeah, so basically Square, the popular payment company that has literally the little square dongle that you plug into your headphone jack, and you have mobile payments and you take credit card payments on the fly. They have acquired a delivery food service by the name of Caviar. Caviar delivers food from restaurants that normally don't deliver. So your popular pizza place, they deliver. But let's just say a restaurant like Baldo's here in Vallejo and Fairfield and down Southern California, and I know Andrew knows it well. Although they are 24 hours and they're opening up another Baldo's in Vallejo for no strange apparent reason, they don't deliver. So they could, have Caviar delivered to you at 2 in the morning, which would be awesome. Carne asada fries. All I gotta say.
Yeah.
But yeah, they didn't comment on how much the acquisition was, but sources say it was around $19 million. And this kind of goes in line with CEO of Square, Jack Dorsey, says that the purchase is complete with the company's goals. Quote, Caviar's curated seamless delivery experience is exactly the kind of service we want to provide buyers and sellers. So up until now, they've had the payment system, they've had the POS system, they've had an online purchasing system, they've had Square funding. So if you're a small business and you want Square to be your backing for POS and other funding and money of that nature, that all made sense. This, on the other hand, is kind of weird because it's focusing on delivery service of food from the likes of restaurants that don't deliver already. And although that margin might be small, I don't think that this is something, again, based off of what we've seen in the market of just web van delivery. Do you guys remember web van back in like the late 90s, 2000s? I mean, that was like the thing that was going to take over home delivery service, and nobody uses it. I mean, when it comes to home delivery service, Google's trying to do their thing. Amazon's trying to do their thing kind of like with the next day delivery or same day delivery now in certain cities. And so more and more this whole delivery thing where you can literally be the fat slob on your couch and order stuff, it's happening, but it's still like it's not solidified. People still want to go out and they want to pick their food or for whatever, even though that we like the whole takeout option. They haven't this whole concept of getting food delivered, like Meals on Wheels. It's a terrible service. Personally, I've used it twice. I don't know why I tried it the second time. It took an extra hour to get delivered when I could just went up the street and got it myself. So whatever the case is for Square and Caviar, I'm sure they have really good plans. Maybe they're going to expand beyond food delivery service and do other goods as well too. But then now we're going to have Google Shopping Express vans. We're going to have Caviar vans. There's going to be Seamless vans. And there's going to be, oh God, what's the other one? Grubhub van. It's just going to be all over the place. Not that that's a bad thing. I want the competition to rise. I want there to be something that really comes out of the ashes of this and really becomes the ultimate phoenix and says, oh, that's the good, that's the best the home delivery service that we should all choose from. But as it stands right now, a lot of us analysts are kind of scratching our heads like this makes no apparent sense. And this was announced on like Thursday, Friday, and since then no one's really come up with a good analysis or reason why this had gone through, except for this quote from Dorsey. So, what do you guys think?
I know that Square will. I know that they'll accept
Square
payments.
Oh well, yeah. If they didn't, I would punch them.
We don't accept people. All right. Baldo's is what you call that place?
God.
Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. Yeah, I've never heard. You said it's a Mexican food restaurant or some kind of late
night.
Yeah.
It's a 24-hour, and they got carne asada fries.
Dude,
they have,
seafood.
Okay. You guys got to hear this. You guys got to listen to this Yelp review. All right, and tell me if this is not accurate. Baldo's is like that one chick who wasn't exactly hella fine,
Oh
but at the
God.
same time,
Oh.
she wasn't hella ugly either. But you always come back to her because she knows how to satisfy you. Afterwards, you might think it's gross, you might even regret it, but you know good effing well, that's exactly how it says. You will be coming back for more because she is always there for you. 4 out of 5.
Oh my God, that is so true though.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, you don't even need to be inebriated to enjoy it. You could just be like, it could be like 2 in the afternoon, like, you know what? I'll go for some Baldos. It's 15 minutes down that way. You know? But, you know, it's worth it. And it's so worth it. I will say this.
Yeah.
Don't eat there. Don't eat there. For whatever reason, 2 reasons. It's gross. Don't eat there. Second reason, they
You
tend to
don't
give
wanna
you
know.
more food when you take out, and that's usually the case. Like when you get Panda Express, they fill up the styrofoam Tupperware just because they want to fill up all the pockets. But yeah, for Baldos, they just plop in the fries and the cheese and the carne asada.
You know what's funny? As I'm going through all these reviews, these carne asada fries keep popping up.
Keep
over
popping
and
up.
Over and over. Yeah,
That's
people
what
are
I'm
really
saying.
liking these things.
Baldos needs to sponsor LTG right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Hey, dude, Google has now done something that at first some people kind of jumped up and started grabbing their pitchforks, and then they kind of saw exactly, and I know I'm sure a lot of people probably put their pitchforks down, while some other people kept their pitchforks up.
Yeah.
So what's happening with this Gmail scanning situation?
Well, so let's start the premise. John Henry Skillern, 41-year-old person in Texas, user of Gmail, and he had some inappropriate photographs of children, actually a young girl underage, obviously, on his Gmail, and I guess he felt that because it's not like posted on Google Plus, God forbid, or anywhere else, that he was safe. But Google does check your email. We know they check your email for text so they can shoot you relevant ads. We've all kind of said fine, but they've been checking our photos for like ever, and we all kind of put that in the back of our minds for whatever reason. But Google has this technology where they can they hash the photo with numbers, just ones and zeros. So they don't actually look at the photo, but they cross-reference the hash of the photo, and they can tell if it's a picture of an older person, a younger person. They can also tell how much skin is being shown, and simultaneously they cross-reference it with the database being held by nonprofits, the FBI, the Center for Missing and Exploited Children. And essentially, this particular picture came up. And so Google contacted the Center for Missing and Exploited Children and said, hey, we have information about this Gmail user in Texas. His name is John Henry, and Skillern. And he has this photo, and it's pretty illegal. You need to do something about it, and thus tipped them off, who thus tipped off the police department in Texas. Not all of Texas, I think it was Houston. And so that at that point, the Houston PD went and did everything else by the book. They got a warrant. They said this was enough probable cause, so they got a warrant, and then they went to this guy's house. They found a bunch of photos. They found photos supposedly that he took himself, which is very eerie. And obviously now he's in jail. And so at first glance, people are like, oh, this is great. We get another sex offender off the streets, because this guy was actually already a registered sex offender for nearly 20 years. And so, like, okay, now he's back in jail because that's where he should be, and hopefully he gets some sort of psychiatric help. But on the other side, the other flip side of the coin, Google's looking at my pictures. I mean, I didn't know this, and that's what a lot of people like. I thought if I put my pictures in photos, Google Plus Photos or whatever they call it, Picasa, or if I post them somewhere, that's when Google will look at. But I didn't know that if they're just being saved in my Gmail, that they're looking at, like, oh my God, that's such a huge invasion of privacy. And what Google is basically saying is, like, first off, this has been in our terms and agreement for like ever. It's been there. If you don't want to read it, that's on you. And no one reads it. That's our like we wouldn't read it. Would you read it? We wouldn't read it. But the fact that it's been in there. But the second thing, Google says we don't actually look at the photos. We don't care about you at the beach. We don't care about you at Disneyland. What we do care about, however, is when our photo ID technology that we use is cross-referenced and it comes up in this other particular database. That's when things start to go down, and it is anonymous. Well, it's not anonymous, obviously, but the photo is anonymous to the point that I don't think they can necessarily say, oh, that's Sean at Disneyland versus some other inappropriate photograph. But people are still kind of like, well, maybe I don't want to put my photos. I don't want people sending me photos anymore because they're going to know that I had just had a baby boy, and maybe they think it's a naked baby. I'm sending it out to all the NAMBLA guys or something like that. So, Google's not going to stop doing this. It is Google's, not only their right, but it's also the law that companies like Google. I think AOL was on the hook for this last year. I know Microsoft. Sean, you and I talked about this before. Microsoft doesn't allow pornography on their OneDrive. Like if you just save a porno in your OneDrive, they immediately delete it and they give you a little message like, "We won't allow this." Even if you call it art, they call it porn, and they don't allow that. And it's their right to be able to determine that. Because you're using their free service. Maybe you're paying for it, but you're using their service, and it's their determination. But what do you guys think? I mean, do you think Google should have been a little bit more transparent about this, or should they keep it under the rug so they can catch people like this?
Andrew?
I mean, like you said, they could have read it, but they didn't. I think life should just go on from there. I mean, they caught one guy, but I mean, at the same time, it is a tool. So I mean, it's only as good as them interpreting the information. So, but it doesn't. How I say, it doesn't bother me because, well, I mean, I have nothing to hide or anything. But it's just, it's kind of like what the whole. Can I even call it the Patriot Act? The whole wiretapping thing that the NSA does for us. And everything. It's just it's there. It's already there. So I mean,
yeah, it's hard for me to really. Personally, I don't mind them doing that because like if someone here's the thing. Like I've had a SoundCloud account and I've had fake accounts, and there's a lot of fake accounts that pop up on that service, and I've had pictures that are completely inappropriate show up as a username, as an ID picture, and it'll say username and it'll be some random numbers. So it's telling you this is obviously not a person. This is some auto-generated thing, and they use a picture that is horribly inappropriate. So sometimes they'll say you've just been followed. Oh heck no. Delete, screw you, I really don't care. So if someone does some kind of spam, some kind of BS or like that to anything out there, and those pictures are going around of something else to help catch them, fine. I don't care. Whether they're scanning it, you know what, they're not quite scanning exactly those things, but if they're scanning for things that are just inappropriate, that are just wrong, I honestly don't really care. If it's something, as Andrew said, I don't have anything to hide, and I don't put anything crazy on there. If they want to take a look at pictures of cars that I'm sending to my friends and say, hey, check out this car I want, that's up to them if they want to look at them. But they don't care. They really don't care. But they do know that some things are illegal, and I'm happy that they are doing this one. So, no, I really could care less. As far as I'm concerned, keep scanning away. As far as the organization that helps Google do this, they helps them identify the photos, keep it up. Please, whatever you need to do, help get these things identified to find these people who are doing this, and, don't worry about it. Sorry, I have no.
I'm pretty sure it's like a lengthy process, too. I mean, it's not just, hey.
No,
he's a molester or anything like that. I mean,
well, Tony said they followed the official thing. It's more like Gmail. It's like someone saying, "Look, this is a list of possible things to look for that these people that are doing things that are completely illegal, are using. There's a list of them." And they will just put in their algorithm, and all of a sudden, if these things pop up, whoa, wait, hey, there's a pop up. Little flag it, look at it. Here's a possibility. Yep, there's a possibility. Send it to the authorities, and let the authorities handle it from there. That seems very fair to me. It seems right. I have no problems with it. Yeah. Plus, it's in the terms of service. So I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm thinking like good, and it's in the terms of service, and I am perfectly fine with it. Keep it up. Yeah. And all the people who are pitchforking and getting all those people, if you're getting upset over this one, I'll say this much. This is advice to you, and then we're going to end the show. Pick your battles wisely. This is not a battle you want to be involved with. This is definitely not the one. All right, everyone, thank you for hanging out with us. We went a little long, but that's fine. I hope you guys hung out and joined us because, we want to give you guys a lot of entertainment. Plus, we weren't here last week, and we wanted to, make up for some of that. So thank you for hanging out. But now we reach the end of the show. This is the point where you're supposed to sing a song, right? When you're saying, we'd like to thank you for joining us, and we are here.
Oh, I was going to sing What is Love?
That dance.
That's to do with it?
What is love?
The
baby?
Dance. Oh, yeah, I know it. The Hathaway song.
No more.
Yeah. So if you would like to reach us in our beautiful singing voices, you can reach us at comments@lazytechguys.com. You can also call us at 707-722-5299. Our Facebook account is Facebook. You look up Lazy Tech Guys on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. You will find us. Also, our YouTube channel to subscribe is Lazy Tech TV. Use that one. Do not look up Lazy Tech Guys. Lazy Tech TV. We would love to thank our sponsors, which is audible.com. Use the URL audibletrial.com to get it 30 days to check out their service, a free book, discounts on other books, and really just check out a pretty killer service. Check it out, audibletrial.com/lazy. Tony, anything real quick here you want to say to the folks here? Any way you want to reach them? Any way you want to say hello?
Yeah, you can hit me up on Google+, Tony Hannity's, or you can follow me on Twitter. Please don't be a bot. I will delete you.
That's right.
At LTG Tony, and otherwise things that I'm working on. I'm still working on this HD TV antenna thing, and I'm still trying to get a replacement for the Samsung Native SE, and I'm still waiting on the Asus ZenBook and the Asus. I think I'm getting a tablet or Chromebook from them. I forget. And I think that's it from me for now. Yes.
How about you, my friend?
Well, just like the rest of us, you can find me on Facebook, /official Andrew Lee, or you can follow me. And there's like about 4,000 of me, so gotta make it official, right? You can also follow me on Instagram at Aoshisan, or you can follow me on Twitter with Aoshisan and X's at the end, either end of them. So X Aoshisan X, as you can see below. Working on an official review on my new Alienware 18. Well, it's not really new anymore.
Well, show them the case. You got a new case for your iPhone, and you have a review on that too.
I just finished it, so.
Yeah, go check it out. LazyTechGuys.com.
Yeah.
Swiss Army knife case, dude.
You mean the Swiss Army MacGyver Batman case? It doesn't do is make coffee.
Does it have shark repellent spray on it?
No.
Okay.
It has scissors.
I say that joke because I'm the oldest guy here by almost 10 years here, 10 grays. And Victor and I were watching the old Batman cartoon TV show, and there's that one scene where Batman is hanging off a ladder, and the shark comes out the water and it's biting him, and then Robin climbs down off the helicopter and hands him shark repellent spray, and then he sprays the shark, and the shark falls down to the water and explodes.
Wait, the shark explodes?
What?
What was in that spray?
I don't know, but John knows. You can find me on many different ways. My website is lazytechguys.com, and it's also my own website, SeanWilburn.com. I will have a review of a new hard drive. It is a Western Digital hard drive. I promise I will open the box, Tony, and I will do that review. I'm sorry, I just haven't gotten around to it yet, but we'll be doing a review on that. It's one of the, what do you call it? It's a not light pipe, Thunderbolt hard drive. So I'm sure a lot of people will be very interested in seeing the speeds. And I'm very curious about how the speeds of this thing are going to turn out. On a personal level, I also have a lot of music going out there. You look up my name here on all the iTunes, Google Plays, and all the streaming services. You'll find stuff. New album coming out, video coming out, a lot of good stuff. So if you're into R&B music, you can check it out there. All right. And with that, we've reached the end Guys, thank you for joining us today. Or some stupid song like that. Anyway, we're out. We'll check you guys out next week. We'll have some fun. Enjoy technology, and we'll see you next week. Have a great day. Bye.
Peace.